Everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to give you a tour of my original island, which is called Beanville. So Beanville is on my Switch Lite, and I bought a full Switch to be able to stream and play for YouTube for Cream Tea. However, I wanted you guys to be able to see what my other island looks like, so you get an insight into what I'll be showing you how to do when I do it on Cream Tea. So Beanville is very much cottage fairycore. I don't know if you could define it as one or the other, but there's a lot of terraforming going on. There's a lot of mush furniture. I spent a lot of time getting those recipes. So here we are on Beanville, my original island. I'll bring up my map so you can have a look and see who lives here and what Beanville looks like. I have learnt a lot through doing this island. I made lots of mistakes, which I'm hoping to rectify on Cream Tea. As you can see, my resident services is very, very close to the airport, so that was quite a struggle, so hopefully you'll like what I did with it. As you can see, I also have uploaded this to the Dream Suite if you want to come and have a nose around in person. So that there is my dream address. Alright, so when you come off the airport, straight away you can see resident services lurking over there in the background. So I'm not going to go that way. I am going to take a right and wander off down here. Now on Beanville I used the path. It's quite a bold decision at the time. I know there are hundreds of variations of it now. I started this island back in April, and I think I made the decision to change the paths from sort of stepping stones to the path about 6 weeks ago, just when it started to become super popular. So as you can see, I've got lots and lots of trees. I don't have any fruit trees other than on my tiny bit of entrance that I'll show you in a second. They are all hardwood trees and cedar trees. Now, because I am an avid crocheter, my island would not be complete without some granny square cushions here. And instead of having a traditional orchard, I wanted to show all my fruit trees as you come in. I'll pan from the top down so you can see as I walk through. So I've got all 5 fruit trees just offset here. And if we follow this route round, we can go and meet some of my residents. Now my island is not finished, but if we were going to wait for me to be 100% happy with it, it would never get shown. So this here is Dom's house. My precious boy Dom, he was my starter, one of my starter villagers, so he's got a very basic house inside. However, what he does have is a beach gym. I tried to keep it macho, but also keep it girly at the same time. Hopefully, I have achieved that. This is my husband's favourite area because you can interact with so many different bits and bobs. And Dom lives right next to Julian, who gets a fabulous beachside house because Julian, he's just fabulous. There's not much on my jetty. Annoyingly, I put a couple of bits here so I can't really somersault off it when I want to go swimming, but I forgive that for the aesthetic. And then we have, living right next door to Dom and Julian, we've got Lolly. So you can either go up the beach or you can come up just behind Lolly's house over here, and this is where Freckles lives. There's Freckles in the distance. And then behind Freckles' house, we've got Kiki. And this path just follows all the way back round to the bridge where we first came over, and then back round to Freckles' house. So you can see that getting the mush lights in particular was a huge priority for me. I had to do a bit of time travelling to get to autumn, and then I had to spend about 60 in-game days to get the bits and bobs and the recipes I needed. It was a total pain, but oh so worth it, because these mush lights just really added to the overall sort of foresty, cottagecore fairy vibe that I've got going on. I honestly don't know how to describe it. So Stitches lives here. He's just tucked in around the corner. And then you can follow the beach up. Decorated the beaches quite simply. Not really too much going on. I've got my big dum-dum statue over here. Then we can go up this little incline here. And this is where Egbert lives. So he is just up behind Stitches here. Then round the corner is where Mitzi lives. Now, Mitzi's exterior house belongs to Kurlos because in my impatience, I glitched it. Noob error there, something that I certainly wouldn't do again. So I've got the museum just off over here, just out of shot. You can see the roof, but I will come round to that from a different direction. And I will carry on back up through the forest. And we can go up to Apple's house. My adorable little Apple gets her very own cliff top retreat up here. Again, with the mush stuff, I'm obsessed with it. Absolutely love it. Can't get enough of it. And And then because she is such a precious girl, she also gets her own little lookout here, which is really sweet when it gets dark. So if we go behind Mitzi's house, Red's beach is down here. Again, quite simple. I haven't really done too much. A couple of bits of pirate furniture and the kelp, which squishes when you run over it. That brings me a lot of joy. So up here is my campsite, which I haven't really spent any time on. I haven't finished this area up here. I am a big fan of the weeds in game, and again, more crochet. Little details like this do definitely make me happy in the game. This is where my orchard originally stood. As you can see, I've got the fruit trees lined up at the back. These won't be staying, they'll go eventually, but I did have quite a formal orchard here originally. And now it is just a little seating area, and I quite frankly dumped the campsite here and have done pretty much nothing with it. So that's very much a work in progress. And if we keep following this path around, it comes to Cookie's house. And she lives all on her own, all the way over here. Again, this area below the campsite, not much has happened here. You can see the weeds have taken over, which I don't mind. I am a fan of the weeds. But that is Cookie's house just there. So over here, got a little picnic area, which leads off over to my house, which, as you can see, barren wasteland. My house inside is also a barren wasteland. This is very much the last area I have to do something with. It's a bit of a dumping ground. I'm totally open to showing you warts and all. So here is where I've just been chucking things down. Glorified storage. Eventually I will sort this little area out. So as you can see, no fruit trees, just hardwood and the cedar. The cedar I'm particularly obsessed with. They're my favourite type of tree in the game. I know there's limited choice, but we'll go up there in just a second. So you can come back down here, which leads you to the avenue of trees where you first came in. So we're back down to the beginning area. So before we took a right off this way to go see the residents, which were over here. They're all off down over that way. But if you go up over this little bridge here, just little seating areas, little hidden bits and bobs scattered around. But this path, you can come around the back, which rejoins the avenue of fruit trees, which is down there. And you can come up, and this is Blather's Museum. So if we went back over that way, it takes you up to the forest houses and Apple's Clifftop Mountain, where we were when you could see the back. But I've got Stonehenge out the front here. I wanted it to still be quite rustic for Blathers. Originally I had quite a formal entrance, but it just didn't really fit with the path. So now he's got Stonehenge, got a little bug area down here, a little toy centipede, which makes me very happy on the floor. So I've kept it simple. Cookie clearly enjoys it up here. And this little bridge will take you back up to the campsite over there. Or if you see where Cookie's been, it's a little hidden walkway through the trees and back round to Cookie's house. So coming back down to the main avenue of trees, I'm going to take you to the bit I am most proud of. So you've got this sort of crossroads here. You can go off to visit the villagers, up to go to the museum. Going this way takes you back to the plaza, but up here is the Abel Sisters. So it's quite tucked away and hidden in here. Go for a top-down shot, you can see it's very snug and cozy in here. There's even enough room for the spinning wheel. So Abel Sisters is very hidden, it's very private in here. And I quite like that you almost don't know that it's here. It's very easy to miss. So if we take a left, then you are over to resident services. Just to show you how close to the airport it is. I think it's about 7 blocks or something ridiculously close. So if you come out of resident services, there's me. Hello, me. Inception. I've got a sort of garden area for the villagers down here. Well, it's more of a sort of a lake area. Do you have to hop to get over? I've got sort of mermaid, bit of a theme going on my beach down here. Again, quite girly, but it's got to be done. I really like using these pearls as decoration on the beach as well. It just adds a tiny little extra flamboyance, maybe. Am I flexing that I've just distributed pearls all over my beach? So my villagers particularly like coming here and singing, hence why they've got a little synthesizer there for if they felt the urge. So it's just a bit of beach. Again, I haven't done too much with the beaches. They're quite plain. But up here there is like a little reading nook, which looks super cute when it gets dark. And again, this is right next to the entrance, so it takes you in a big old loop all the way around. And then we can go up to pretty much the only urbanish area that I have, which is nooks. And with Abel Sisters, if I just bring up my map, you can see how close the shop and Abel's are to each other. So it was quite difficult to keep it hidden. I didn't want you to be able to see. You can just see it in there. I didn't want anything to be seen as you come up this side. I wanted it to be really tucked away and hidden. Actually, let's come back down here. So behind my sort of lake area, it's just a big pond. I have a tiny little stargazing area down here. It's quite simple, just an overlight, some star fragments. And I had crafted a lot of the other mermaid furniture with a view to putting it in my house, but it doesn't really go, so I've just kept, this is the sofa, just kept the sofa. And again, very, very simple beach. So up behind Nook's is a little playground with my all-time favourite thing to craft, the peach surprise box. So again, going for a slightly overgrown look. This is my playground, still quite formal. I'm not entirely sure this will stay, but giant teddy bear that everybody needs in their life. And this just brings you back to the beach. And then cross the little bridge and we are back over to my unfinished house and campsite area. So I really hope you enjoyed this quick whistle-stop tour of Beanville. I think I am about 450 hours into this. As I say, it's not finished, but quite frankly, when is an island ever truly finished? And I do, of course, have the dream address, so you are welcome to come on over and come and have a mooch about. I'll put my codes, the creator codes for the path and all my little bits and bobs that I have here on the floor, like this individual dirt circle which matches the path. All these little bits and bobs I will put down in the description box below, because when I tested my dream address last night, no design portal actually appears on the plaza, so I will put that in the description for you just in case you're after that information. So that's it, that is Beanville. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what you can achieve and what cream tea will eventually be like. I'm not going to do a like for like. I'm going to go with a different colour palette for cream tea. I'm thinking more white rather than a lot of darker foresty browns. So I hope to see you again on my channel very soon.